Hello and welcome to another episode of
RC Plans with Dad.
All right, so today what we're doing is we're answering a couple questions about the little t28 Trojan that we have. Somebody asked questions. Yeah, one of our viewers asked about what kinds of things this does. He has the original one, and I think this might be the same iteration as he said.
It's just not a tail dragger, I think. It's
no, his is just the red and white one. So it's the same plane, it's just red and white. So anyway, let's get into his questions and we'll try to answer those for him. So he said, does it have pop-out panels for easy servicing or replacing the motor and flight board that the current V761-11 and up models do? So let's take a look at that. So first of all, here's the bottom of the plane. And I'm going to say that no, it does not have pop-out panels of any kind to get to anything other than the battery. You have the little battery hatch and that's it. There's no like areas that they've glued in.
But if you guys see here, there is a little part that is glued in right there. You can pop that out if you want, but
well, so what he's looking for is, so you know how that one on top of yours, how it has that plastic piece?
Yeah.
That's like a service panel kind of. So under here you can see there's no service panels, right? Okay, so no service panels. I think in order to get to the flight board and the ESC and all that stuff, you're going to have to cut the wing out, which a lot of people do if they have to replace something in there. Okay, so that's question number one. You have to cut open it. I'm pretty sure that's the way it is. And no, I cannot see the board, and everything I've looked up on this particular one in my manual and everything does not have DSM S-Bus satellite socket. So now, does it have the Find My Plane thing? I don't think so either. So no Find My Plane on the flight board as far as I can tell. That's according to the manual. It doesn't show anything in the manual about it. Now, there was one other thing that it does. It says, does it provide the aircraft low battery and aircraft almost out of signal range on the stock Volantex transmitter? So I have the stock transmitter here, and I think it does have the low battery one. Where'd those batteries go that were right here? Oh, they're right here. Okay, so I won't be able to tell the low battery one, but I think I can test out part of it. So we're going to turn it on. Then we're going to turn on the radio.
We're going to have to hear it.
Okay. We have our little plane going, and I think this is a full battery, but we're going to go ahead and go up.
I think it's because it's a different radio.
No, this is the one that came with. So I think what it's doing though, this might be a low battery, which is fine. I didn't check the voltage on them. I had two here and I don't know which one was which.
I think both of them are.
But what we're gonna do is we're gonna take out the battery on here and see if it tells us. Let's see, let's try this first. We're gonna turn this off first. See if it makes any noise. That's how it works.
Got safe now.
Yeah. Okay, let's turn that back on. Okay, so there was one feature that it didn't really show in there. It has the return to home key. So what you do is you place the plane down facing the direction you're going to take off in. And then you push and hold the throttle trim, not up or down, but straight down on the button until you see the rudder go back and forth, and then it straightens out. And I believe that's so that when you're flying, if you start to fly away from yourself, you can hit that button again for about 3 seconds, and the plane will automatically do a turnaround, and it'll come back towards the direction that you took off in. It does not land itself or anything like that. And then the other thing that this is supposed to have, as far as I can tell, is it's supposed to have the ability to take off on its own. So all you do is you throttle up and it'll just take itself off to a certain height, and then you can take over after that. So you don't have to do anything but throttle up. We're going to try that next time we go out. with the stock transmitter. I'll just take off from the ground and just see if it'll just take off eventually, and then we can control it from there. All right, let's see, what was there? I don't think there was anything else that I can answer on it. I don't think it has the Find My Plane beeper.
And this is going to be a little bit shorter of a video because we're just answering what questions this viewer had.
Yep, just answering what he had. So
this is not going to be one of our longer videos.
So I think he has the same plane as us. It's just a different color.
Yeah, it's just red, white, and black.
So whatever his stuff has on his stock transmitter, ours should have the same thing. But I don't know how to use all those. I use my Radio Master. You want to grab my Radio Master real quick? Yeah, so I use my Radio Master TX16S to control this plane and a couple of my other planes that I have that are the ready to fly ones, because these radios are not that great. Now, you do lose some of the stuff because I don't have like the one button, I don't know how to set up the one button like acrobatic stuff where you would push the button and then you make a roll to the right or left or do a loop or anything like that. So I do have the setup on this one. This one came loaded with the Eachine t28, so it does have the stabilized mode, the mid mode, and then the manual mode completely. So that's kind of nice. You still have those where you can fly it with the stabilization on, you can fly it with some stabilization on, and then you can fly it totally manually as well. And it's a lot smoother. Yeah, you can turn it off. It's a lot smoother than the stock radio, obviously. So that's my nice radio. And then I just printed these up. No, I printed these up the other day on our 3D printer for my Radio Master. It's just the gimbal protectors that are made for just this one, not that one.
Fortunately.
Yeah, so it goes on there and it just protects it in the case so you don't whack it. Okay. He's gonna try to fit it on that stock radio, but they're too wide. You might bend that because they're all tweaked.
It still does it.
I know, but okay. So I think that's all we can answer. If anybody has any other questions about this little plane, and I think one of the things that we might end up doing with this plane is I saw somebody cut this all open and everything, but basically they got a new fuselage and stuff, and a new wing and everything, but without electronics in it, and then they put a brushless motor in it with their own receiver.
And this thing was fast.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. So, but that might be something we do later on after the motor takes a dive and doesn't work anymore. So, all right. Thanks a lot for watching our video. We'll see you on the next flight, and I think I'm going to have some other build videos coming up pretty soon. So, I don't know what you're saying. And that's a wrap, I guess. I don't know. All right. See you next time.